white girls shouldn't wear braids. I'm not saying that because I just don't want you to wear my hairstyle.
Whenever I see people going off about cultural appropriation like this, I have one thing to say, and that is cultures are not owned. Cultures have always been and will continue to be shared. Which means Kim K can do this, and Hailey Bieber can line her lips for goodness sake without being called out for cultural appropriation. They're not appropriating anything. And yes, people are gonna make profits off of things that have been traditionally black, just like black people profit off of things that have been traditionally white. This girl's gonna have a real rude awakening when she goes to some place like, I don't know, Puerto Rico, Mexico, any of the islands, and finds out there's a lot of non-black people running around with braids in. When you complain about cultural appropriation, you're essentially saying black people do your things, white people do your things, and no crossover. I'm getting hints of Jim Crow racism.
The clip that I played for you is a clip by Amala Akbanobi of Unapologetic, which is a YouTube channel where she talks about different topics that the left tend to like to argue with. And she has a very interesting story about how she left the left, basically. She brought up a very interesting point about cultural appropriation with regards to black hair. And I played that clip because, well, this might surprise some of you. I agree with her. I agree with her completely. What she said makes so much sense. Cultures, like she said, are not owned. They're shared. I agree with that. I would argue that hip-hop and rap and R&B, those kinds of genres, black people created those genres. Yet we don't make a fuss about other cultures embracing and accepting those genres into their own culture. You've got all of these different cultures embracing what we know to be a black created genre within the music industry. Why are we not fussing about that, but instead choose to fuss about one of the most stupidest things in the world? Like hair. It's like black people just want to get mad about something. And I've heard it said that one of the reasons why black people are not happy about other races wearing their hair is because there was a point in time where black people were discriminated against in stores and restaurants for wearing braids and cornrows and stuff, and they were told that they had to leave the restaurant or leave the store because of that. But when other races do it, it's accepted. Yeah, okay, but have you ever stopped to think about the fact that black women wearing wigs that look like white girl hair is acceptable, but when a white person or any other person who's not black wears dreadlocks or anything like that, it's not acceptable, and we want to paint them as racist automatically, and we want to act like they've committed some kind of crime against black humanity? Okay, now you're probably wondering, why am I bringing this up? What is the point? I'm about to show you something that I found, and this is actually Luhan related. Those of you who don't know, Luhan recently made a post on his Instagram, and the picture is him wearing dreadlocks. I guess that's what this is, dreads. There were people who in the comments who were supportive of him wearing dreadlocks. Thank God for the supporters, because this is the harmless thing. And black people just don't know how to handle situations well. And I don't even know why I'm saying situation. This is not even a situation. This is just a Chinese guy wearing dreads. As if we haven't seen it before. I don't think you can put blackface on the same level as wearing a black hairstyle. Cause like, at least you didn't change your skin tone, or you didn't like draw big lips on yourself, right? Because at that point you have created a caricature of a black person. Once you've done all of that, you know, get your skin dark or paint your skin dark and put big lips on yourself, draw big lips, because that is what black people have been reduced to over the years, drawn as, seen as, and it is a racial trope and a caricature of a black person. So I can understand that being racist. Even if you don't realize you're being racist and you're just looking at a character, that's still racist. But to go and say that a person who didn't change their skin color, who didn't draw big lips on themselves, and just wearing a black hairstyle is racist, I'm sorry, you've lost me there. But why are we making this to seem like it's as big a deal as blackface? Let me give you an example of what racism looks like. I'm gonna show y'all what real cultural appropriation looks like. Here it is, all K-pop news. This is old news, by the way. It says Ollie London causes Twitter storm after debuting cornrow hairstyle and being accused of cultural appropriation. Now, let me show you why he's being accused of cultural appropriation. I'm not going to go over all the news. This is what he said in his post. Releasing my debut K-hip-hop single soon, and it will be a collab featuring a very talented Korean rapper. Now, he goes on to say in another post, I've got a totally new hairstyle, so I look more gangster for my debut K-hip-hop single, which is debuting this summer. So I look more gangster. I want you to focus on that right there. That's why he's wearing the hairstyle, because he wants to look more gangster. That's cultural appropriation, because now you're affiliating the cornrow hairstyle with gangsters, black gangsters. That's cultural appropriation. What Luhan's doing is not cultural appropriation. He's not trying to look gangster. He's not trying to look street. And yes, I get it. I understand why people might feel upset. But at the end of the day, it's a hairstyle. Why are people getting so upset about this? And I know some black people ain't gonna like me for saying this, but I just don't see the problem here. Holly London's intentions for wearing the hairstyle are very clear. He wants to mimic black people. He says here that he's wearing the hairstyle to look more gangster, whatever. That tells you everything. I don't even need to explain that. Luhan didn't say anything in this post. He just posted it, and you can believe whatever you want, but I don't believe this is cultural appropriation. Stop trying to segregate hairstyles. The thing, and here, oh God, okay. Whew. Okay, Martin Luther King. I don't think Martin Luther King would actually say anything about this hairstyle. I don't think he would care too much. That would be very contradicting of him to care, because he said that he had a dream where people would not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of the character. This man is not being judged because he's wearing cornrows. This man is being judged because he's Asian wearing cornrows. Because race and color play a huge part in the narrative that black people like to put out there to justify why they're angry that another race is wearing their hairstyle. So in a way, by black people pointing out the quote unquote racism involved in other races wearing black hairstyles, they're actually exposing their own racism, because they're saying you can't wear this. You're not allowed to wear this hairstyle. This is for us. Like Amala said, cultures are not owned. They're shared between other cultures. Black women tend to wear white women looking hairstyles. Are you thinking about offending white people when you wear hairstyles that look like a white woman hairstyle? There are some black women whose hair don't blow in the wind like that, okay? It's okay for black people to do that to white people and all that stuff. But let it be an Asian person or any other person, a white person or whatever, wearing a black hairstyle, and all of a sudden we want to jump down their throat, because there's no such thing as reverse racism, right? Cultural appropriation when it comes to black hairstyles is reverse racism to me, because you're saying that because of their race and the color of their skin, they're not allowed to wear this hairstyle because it's offensive to black people. Because of the color of their skin and their race, it's offensive. I think that is absolutely terrible. This boy, I think he's around my age at this point. This guy, the argument is that he's a grown man and he can do whatever the freak he wants with his own hair. And no one has the right to tell anyone what they should or shouldn't do with their hair. It's their hair. Leave them the heck alone. It's their hair. It's Luhan's hair. Oh, he's such an angel. Oh, he's so beautiful. Oh, he's so handsome. All of a sudden he wears dreadlocks and he becomes public enemy number 1. Put him on the most wanted list. He's terrible. A terrible person for wearing a hairstyle like this. Wasn't a terrible person years ago because he wasn't wearing a hairstyle like that. Yet it's okay for black women. Yeah, I'm pointing out black women because, like, guys, at least straight guys, straight black guys don't wear like wigs of like white guy wigs. okay? Unless they're just being funny or they're trying to like pretend to be like Justin Bieber with that hairstyle, you know, and they're being funny or whatever. But you don't see straight black dudes do this. That's why I'm saying it. Mainly women are the ones who are offended by this stuff, which is just very weird considering black women like wear white girl looking wigs, long hair, blows in the wind because of the texture of it. My mom's done it, and she'll braid it if she wants to braid it, or she'll let it just blow in the wind or whatever. But one thing my mother has never done is say that any white person that wears braids or whatever, or cornrows, is culturally appropriating with the hairstyle. There are people who make a caricature of black people by wearing hairstyles, but those are those people. You can't say that every white person or every other person that's not black is being a caricature of a black person by wearing black hairstyles. Okay, you can't do that. You can't generalize like that. And that's where black people make one of the biggest mistakes in their argument of labeling everybody as a cultural appropriating bigot for wearing black hair. Could it be that they're actually appreciating the hairstyle? Unlike our friend Ollie London here, who years ago made this post saying that they wanted to look more gangster, and that's why they changed their hairstyle. Okay? That's different. That is cultural appropriation. Because he's telling you why he's doing it. We gotta stop. This right here is worth being called out. Luhan wearing dreads is not worth being called out. Yes, this does kind of smell like Jim Crow racism if you think about it, when you're trying to tell people that they can't wear a certain hairstyle or whatever because of the color of their skin. Or you're trying to make other races aware of their unknowing racism.
You might be like portraying racism and you don't even know it. Well, I'm just trying to make you aware.
It's not racist to wear these hairstyles. Because what if they're actually appreciating the hairstyle, and you becoming defensive against them for wearing it turns them off from ever wanting to wear it, which is probably your plan. It's probably what you want. I want to bully you into not wearing hairstyle ever again by just coming at you with full force. I just think that's so wrong. And we have to stop that. So I made this video to talk about this because this is a thing that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time. Didn't know how I was going to do it. It's not that I waited for a situation like this to arise to do it. I just didn't know how I was going to present this. But because this arose, it gave me an opportunity to talk about it because it pertains to K-pop. I know this guy's not Korean, he's Chinese. He's a big star in China, but he is still affiliated in K-pop because of his history with EXO and SM and being in the Korean circle of the Hallyu Wave back in the day. And so that's why I brought this up. Perfect person to use as an example of why I think that being racist about people's hairstyles is problematic. You're pouring your anger and all your energy into something that at the end of the day, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. It's not worth getting angry about. It's not your hair, it's theirs. Let them do what they want with it. Stop trying to call them out every time. Every single time. It's one thing to use the N-word and call them out for that. It's another thing to wear a hairstyle that says nothing about their character, except that maybe they just like the hairstyle. But why is it that black people don't even jump to that, but they will immediately jump to the worst case scenario is that they're racist and that's why they're wearing the hairstyle? Or that there's a racial connotation to wearing the hairstyle? Why is it that we don't jump to the conclusion that they're appreciating the hairstyle? And let me be clear, not all black people do that. There are some black people that actually are like, hey, they appreciate our hairstyle, cool. Don't listen to the haters. And I'm one of them. I think Luhan's appreciating the hairstyle, and he does not deserve the hate that he's getting for this post. But if I wanted to be like you guys, I could say, yeah, he does deserve the hate because he's not black, okay? If I wanted to use your guys' argument, that's what I'd say. He's not black, so he's cultural appropriating our black culture and our black heritage because he's not black, he's Asian, and his hair isn't that texture or whatever, and it doesn't look right on him because he's not black. Don't use our hairstyles. Don't use our hairstyles. That's racist. That's racist of black people to say that, whether you know it or not. You're trying to make people aware of their racism by being racist. and exposing yourself.
Oh, I'm not racist.
Yeah, okay. Until a white person wears a black hairstyle, then all of a sudden your racism just comes out.
No, I'm making them aware.
Yes, and at the same time you're making us aware of your racism. So thanks. You're doing a very good job by doing that. Verdict? He's doing nothing wrong. Unless he comes out and says why he's wearing it and says that the reason why is because he wants to look more hood or more gangster, and he tells you guys. Because listen, black people, I don't care how smart black people are. One ability that we do not have is the ability to read minds. So stop assuming that everybody is wearing black hairstyle to piss off black people or to get under black people's skin or to be blatantly racist. Okay? That's my verdict. Yes, I am going to upload this video. Like I said, this is my channel and I'm going to bring up controversial topics. And if you aren't comfortable with that and you don't agree with what I'm saying, and it bothers you that much, you don't have to watch the video because it triggers you that a black person is standing up for someone who's not black. Because I'm not racist, unlike some people who would claim that they're not racist, but then accuse this person of racism because they're wearing black hair and they're not black. Because like you got to be black. That's one of the rules black people put in place. Cultural appropriation is when you place a limit or a barrier on what can and cannot be used or done because it's not acceptable. I understand that. But placing a limit on people's hairstyles when it's not your hair, you can't do that. You can't do that. Okay, any more than you can stop other cultures from taking hip hop and rap, which is our stuff, our culture, and putting it into their culture and adopting it and using it. Now you got Asians rapping, now you've got Hispanics rapping, now you've got Portuguese rappers, now you've got people in the Czech Republic rapping, now you've got British people rapping, now you've got all these people rapping. But my thing is that rap is universal. Why can't hairstyles be universal too? We talk about equality and yet we don't want to be equal. We want to be above. That's not what Martin Luther King stood for. He stood for equality. He didn't want to be above anyone, all right? Why then are we not doing the thing that Martin Luther King stood for? Cultural appropriation, especially with black hair, is just another way for black people to say, look, you can't do this, you can't do that because you're not black and it's unacceptable. And I'm sorry, but I can't get with that. I can't get behind that. If my Asian friend told me, Avery, I want to wear such and such a hairstyle because, I like it, but I'm scared about what people will think of me and they'll probably think I'm racist or whatever. Should I get it anyway? I would tell them to get it. Do what you want because it's your hairstyle. And guess what? The fact that you came to me means that you know that I am not going to think badly of you automatically or disown you as a friend because you decided to wear a black hairstyle. And you know what? I'm kind of segregating by calling it a black hairstyle. So from now on, I'm going to call it a hairstyle because that's what it is. You see on like Japanese games where they have like Asian guys or whatever wearing hairstyles like this. Back in the day, that wasn't a problem. But now all of a sudden it's a problem. But guess what? Japanese people don't give a crap because they're not about that woke crap. You still see white characters or Asian characters with dreads or whatever, and it's not a problem for Japanese people because they, like I said, they ain't about that woke crap. But that woke stuff is in America, seeping into Korea. We're trying to hold Koreans accountable for wearing black hairstyles, holding their hairstylists accountable for wearing black hairstyles. All of it's based on oppression. We got oppressed for wearing it. So now if white people wear it and they don't suffer consequences, then it's not fair. It's not equality. So we want to make it equal. So we're going to hold them accountable just like we were held accountable. That's not equality. It wasn't equality when you were being held accountable. So why hold them accountable? That's not, it's just so twisted. But guys, I'm going to end the video here because I think I've explained this the best I can. I probably should have scripted it. I hope that this made sense. Stop oppressing other races and telling them they can't wear, because it is actually oppressing other people. You're causing people to get canceled for wearing hairstyles. Getting canceled for wearing hairstyle is oppression. Leave these people alone. I feel like something was about to slip out my mouth just then. Leave these people alone, okay? Luhan is fine. Ollie London is the problematic example, okay? He deserved what he got. He deserved people calling him out on it. He didn't deserve getting hated on for it. Don't hate on people. Please stop hating on people. For God's sake, I'm so sick of it. You're perpetuating a cycle of hate. There's a difference between calling them out and hating on them, but it's the way that you call them out that also makes the difference, because if you're calling them out in a hateful way, then it's just hate. You're calling them out with the purpose of hating on them, okay? You can't hate people and disguise it as calling people out. So there's that too. Yes, that's all I wanted to say. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. I'm over it now. I done said my piece. Like or dislike this video, I don't give a crap. Comment down below, I guess, and let me know what you think about it, I guess. I'll catch you guys in a more lighthearted topic of discussion. But until then, it'll be your boy Aves. Peace. I love you guys. Please stop hating on Luhan. Leave people alone if they want to wear hairstyles. And stop assuming the worst of everyone that's wearing a hairstyle. Alright? Peace. Love you guys. Bye.